What if I told you that a 3-year-old can already associate skin color with power, beauty, or worth? Now, it's not because they're born that way, but because weeds of racial bias and inequality start growing early on. And see, if we're not careful, those weeds will eventually take over before our Black children even know how to spell their names. As an early childhood educator with a background in psychology, neuroscience, diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as ministry, I've seen firsthand how profound those first years shape our young children. You see, our Black children are seeds full of potential, promise, and purpose. And it's up to us as community to surround them, provide for them, and protect them so that they can grow into their full potential. During the 1940s, Doctors Kenneth and Mamie Clark, renowned psychologists, conducted what we know as the doll study. They interviewed Black children between the ages of 3 and 7. And during each interview, they would give each child one Black doll and one white doll. They would ask questions like, which doll is the smart doll? Now show me the dumb doll. Which doll is the pretty doll? Which one is the ugly one? Which doll is the doll that you want to play with the most? And child after child, they would attribute the positive characteristics to the white doll, while the Black doll was left carrying the burden and bearing the weight of the negative ones. And the saddest part of this study is that it has been replicated throughout the years with very little change in the result among our Black children. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the weeds are alive and well, and they are thriving and striving to choke out the inherent value and identity of our Black children. Some of you may be asking, what does any of this have to do with me? Many of us in the Black community have faced moments and situations that have challenged our identity, where we have had to question our value and our worth. I can remember being a little girl, 7, growing up in Savannah, Georgia. I remember being invited to my first classmate's birthday party. I was so excited and happy about what I believed to be acceptance and inclusion. That is, until I overheard another classmate tell her, "Don't invite Sarah because she's Black." My excitement quickly turned to confusion. Now, I knew I was Black, but in that moment, I couldn't quite understand why it felt like I was being punished for something that I didn't do. I felt vulnerable and exposed, almost like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden when they realized that they were naked and they tried to cover up in shame. You see, that was the first time I had ever felt shame about my Black skin. I can remember being frustrated and upset with God. Why would you make me look like this? Is my Blackness a mistake? You see, what I needed most in that moment was acceptance. I needed affirmation. I needed to know that I was valuable enough. I needed to know that God made me exactly how I was supposed to be. And thankfully, because of my family and my community, I was surrounded, covered, and protected in a moment when I needed it the most. My mom and dad taught me, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And baby, God don't make no mistakes. A seed is tiny. It's fragile. It's vulnerable. And it begins its journey covered and surrounded by the earth. And for good reason. Because it has to be protected and provided for in order for it to break through at the appointed time to become everything that it was destined to become. A child at the age of 2, their brain is already starting to develop ideas and beliefs about who they are. And so as community, it's up to us to cover and surround and protect them so that they too can break through the ground that is designed to keep them buried. But there's a catch. And this is where you and I come in. No seed can grow on its own. It requires water, oxygen, and warmth. And I want to share with you the ways that we can provide all of these things so that our Black children, our seeds, can grow to their full potential. When we water our Black children, we are saturating them with affirmation. We are reinforcing their identity. And in that, we are removing negative ideas and thoughts and replacing them with positive ones. You see, because words matter. Many of us remember the line from The Color Purple, "You sure is ugly." But then we can also remember the iconic line from The Help, "You is smart, you is kind, and you is important." Words matter. What we say to our Black children matters. And more importantly, what they say to themselves about themselves matters. When we give our Black children oxygen, we are giving them space. We are providing them with authenticity. We give them room for them to be fully and wholly, totally themselves in how they think, how they play, how they learn, and even in how they dream, without fear of rejection, punishment, or criticism. When we give our Black children warmth, we are surrounding them with acceptance. We are giving them love. We are telling them that who they are matters, and exactly how they are matters. We're telling them that it's okay to be you, and we love you exactly the way you are. So then my final question. What is it that you are planting? Or better yet, who are you planting, nurturing, and cultivating? You see, because if you stand by and do nothing, eventually these weeds will take over. You know, no one has ever had to plant a weed. They just grow. So are you complicit in the nurturing of weeds? Because as a Black mother, a Black leader, a Black teacher, a Black pastor, I know that I have been called to be an excavator of weeds and a cultivator and nurturer of our seeds. Because imagine if we plant, nurture, cover, surround, and protect our Black babies, we will grow a generation that will never have to wonder whether or not they belong. We will cultivate a garden that never has to question whether or not they're beautiful enough, talented enough, capable enough. Because if we do our job as the gardeners, we will raise a generation that will already know who they are and that they are enough. Thank you so much.